What's going on, party people? My name is Solomon. I am an artist, and thus I go by Solomon the Artiste. So check this here. It's been an interesting 2 weeks. Some things I can speak on, other things I can't. So it started off interesting because my phone died, and I know that seems like it's not that big of a deal. And it isn't, but it also is. It isn't because it's a phone. You can replace a phone. But when I say my phone died, I mean I had that sucker on the charger. It got to 98%. I went to check it just to see how far it had gotten. And the screen went black. Usually I charge my phone while it's off because I find that it charges faster that way. In general, whether the phone is new or old, I just find that's the best way to charge your cell phone. That way also you're not on your phone while you're charging it, because that's no good. In any case, I remember seeing the screen just go to black, and I thought nothing of it because that's usually what happens anyway. You press the screen, press a button, whatever, to see the green battery light pop up, and so you can see the percentage, and then it just goes back to black because it's off. So it did seem different to me that time that the screen went to black. It seemed like the phone just went dead, but I thought nothing of it because I'm like, whatever. It'll come on when I press the power button. Sure enough, I went back, minutes later because it's on 98%, so by now it should be on 100%, and the phone would not turn on. The phone is just dead, completely dead. And I tried to give it a day or two, thinking maybe it just needs, some rest or something. I don't know. But the phone just never came to. So obviously I had to get a new phone, which I haven't gotten yet, because my thing is, when I do get new phones, I invest in whatever the latest is in respect to the brand that I love. I'm not really an iPhone user personally. I don't care for them. But I did order the new Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. I haven't received it yet. I ordered it for it to come to me. The last phone I had before the one that just died was the Galaxy S6 Edge. So that goes to show you how long I hold on to my phones. I take very good care of my phones. I do not let go of the phones until they are absolutely 100% not usable, So I figured, well, if this phone is absolutely not usable, then I'm going to invest in a new phone, a brand new, whatever the latest is. And it just so happened that the latest Samsung Galaxy was not going to come out till the 29th of January. So I ordered that. I think I should get it by February 8th. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how it is. I just invested, got the most memory and all that good stuff. The Galaxy... If you're hearing noise in the background, that's my aunt joking around with my niece, singing and whatnot. In any case, I lost my train of thought. In any case, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Galaxy S6 Edge. That came out, I think, in 2014, if not 2015. And we are in 2021, so that shows you how good care I take of my phones and how long it will last if you do take good care of it. So that happened, and so I've had no phone, and it sort of became a bittersweet moment. It sort of pulled me away from social media. So I haven't really been on Instagram. I haven't been on Snapchat. I've gone on Twitter because I can do that from the computer, which you can do Instagram from the computer as well, but I don't wanna. But the thing is, I don't spend that much time. I'm not invested in the way that I normally would be on Instagram. I'm not invested in Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that in that manner. And so it really pulled me away from the phone, from social media, and allowed me to really take time to think and explore myself and my thoughts and my artistry and everything. I've been doing more and more auditions, ironically, as my phone is gone, and I've had less time. I haven't so focused on that on the phone. I didn't realize how into social media I actually was. I thought I was one of the people who didn't care that much for it, but now I see I cared more than I realized, you know. But yeah, I have gotten so much more done. It's like a unintended, you know what, I'm gonna be real. I feel like it is and or was sort of a divine intervention, if you will. You know, I really had to take time to meditate on the word. I haven't meditated on the word as much as I was when I had my phone, because I wasn't using my physical Bible as much, if I'm being honest. I was using my Bible app, because it tends to be convenient, which is you know, proof, which is what I think the divine intervention was. My phone is always in my hand as opposed to my Bible being in my hand, you know, more often. So that's something I'm definitely trying to work on. I've been working on patience. I am actually more patient than most, but I've realized having to deal with certain things, being forced to dedicate more time and vision to certain things, I realized my phone was my way out of certain things, when before things could really work my nerves, you know, run to the phone. And I think that's just an everyday thing for pretty much everyone these days. So it's like I realized I've learned more about myself by not having access to my phone, is what I'm saying. And it's been an interesting experience. An experience that I clearly needed, and I'm actually grateful for, and will actually hold true to when I do get my phone back, when it comes in the mail. But what else happened? Oh yes, I obviously, mustache and all that, I just finished doing some auditions, which I'm gonna edit right after I finish filming this. But I've got songs to record. I actually just had a conversation with someone from high school who's a pretty dope rapper. I was watching some of his content on YouTube and such. But he just hit me up via my cousin to do a hook on his new song. And I'm excited. The beat is really dope. And like I said, he's a dope rapper. So I'm excited to be a part of this. And I hope you all really enjoy it. It should be coming out Valentine's Day. So this is going to be like a real quick turnaround. And I'm excited to do it. I listened to the track and I already have ideas. And, you know, with COVID, recording in the safety of our home, in our home studios, is what's best. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to hash it out, you know. Something else that happened. I've always had this fear of being dropped by my acting agency. I didn't feel as if I was booking lucrative acting work. I booked a few things here and there, fortunately, but nothing that has me at the forefront. I've had a multitude of auditions for you know, for leading roles and such, and multiple callbacks and things like that, both for television and for stage. Obviously now stage is just not a thing, definitely not in New York. But for television, for film, for short films, for, you know, anything in front of the camera, that's still, you know, working, of course, with very strict COVID precautionary guidelines. But yeah, I always had a fear that I wouldn't be held on to at my, I was gonna say my label, at my agency, because I wasn't booking the lucrative gigs. And every time I would get an email or something, I would always think like, this is it, this is the email, this is the we're letting you go email, but it would always be an audition. Finally, I got an email. It was not the we're letting you go email though, it was the we're closing house email, meaning the agency is no more. So I no longer have an agency. I no longer have an agent. I am just back at square one, basically, doing it completely on my own. Ironically, though, I've been getting a lot more auditions and a lot more work as of late, and it's sort of a bittersweet thing, because when I lived in LA for that year, it's so weird saying that now because a part of me feels like I didn't live like a full year because I was still back and forth between New York and LA. But for that year that I was out there, I didn't tell my agency that I moved out there. I let them think that I was just visiting, doing some creative work out there. And I even did some auditions out there for my agency. Forgive me, I feel like I have a dry spot on my lip. That's why I keep I don't have any chapstick around. But eventually I ended up moving back to New York, obviously. So I'm here now, and it was sort of a sigh of relief. Like sad that I'm back here, although I love New York, but I was excited to build and experience a life beyond New York. All I know of myself is Solomon in New York. And so to come back, I was happy to come back to what I know, happy to come back to something familiar, happy to come back to some sort of comfort. But I was also relieved to know that I didn't have to sort of basically lie to my agent that I, telling her that I still lived in New York when I actually wasn't. But when I came back to New York, they sent me on quite a few auditions, all of which went very well. There was one particular audition for a musical where I went in for one part, but they really enjoyed me and had me step out of the room for a few minutes to learn the monologue for a different and bigger part, for a leading role. And that went really well. They really enjoyed me. I never heard back, but I never heard anything happening with the musical. I don't know whatever happened to it. I don't think it's that they didn't want to hire me or that they didn't intend on hiring me. I think it just felt still. Actually, come to think of it, it was like the ending of January, beginning of February, and we were like heading into COVID. So I think a multitude of things just shut down in general because, things happen. In any case, the point is I just wasn't booking anything lucrative for them. So I always had that fear that they would drop me, but go figure, it turns out that they sort of dropped it themselves. And that happened. It's interesting though, they still tried to offer some sort of help by giving us a contact to another agency, or rather a talent manager. There's a difference between agents and managers, but a talent manager who might be willing to take meetings with some of us and such. And I went and I looked at that guy's website, and he's a very lucrative manager. I looked at his website. I saw the type of actors that he represents, most of which are LA-based actors and such. But that doesn't matter because there were some New York actors and whatever. But every agency has its what's the word that I want to use? Every agency has its flair. That's not the word I want to use, but it's the only word that comes to mind. So what it is this: looking at the actors on that particular website, I knew that I did not fit in. They were mostly white, and the few who were black were mostly, well, they were my complexion, mixed looking and everything, but they were fit. I saw no one that was overweight. They all looked as if they lived their lives in the gym, and that's obviously not me, not yet, but either way, going against my better judgment, I said, let me try. It's better to just try and know for sure that the answer is no, as opposed to just assuming. So I took the info, I contacted him, spoke to him over the phone. He looked at I thought that he was going to schedule a time to have a meeting with me. Rather, he just took my profile info via Actor Access, and we spoke on the phone while he was looking at everything. And I could just tell, you know how you can just tell from the vibe, from the sound of someone's voice, you know, how things are going, how they feel about you, or vice versa, you know. And just over the phone, this is someone whom I had actually heard of before, and I'd seen their their Instagram page before, their business Instagram page. I think I followed them at one point too, because someone that I knew, it might have been my cousin, maybe not, but someone else that I knew who is an actor followed them and maybe got some work via them. And that's just what you do in this business. You know, you see a contact, you jump on it too, because it might work out for you one day or something, you know. Eventually I unfollowed it because I realized it was nothing for me on that Instagram page. I remember that much. But in any case, speaking to him on the phone, like, I could just tell, like, he's like, okay, I'm gonna put a note here and we're gonna make a note to yada 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 yada. And I'm like, all right, cool. But I knew very well that I'll never hear from him again. Like, that agency, that his firm is not for me. I don't think they would know what to do with me, you know. And that is okay. I don't mind starting anew, to be honest. It's, like I said, it's a bittersweet thing. It's sort of a gift. It's more a gift than it is a curse. Nobody, you know, I don't want to not have an agency. It was great having an agency. There are certain auditions that I could never get into without having an agent. However, with that in mind, I've been wanting to do a lot of updates to myself and to my resume and headshot and such. And now I have the time to really do that. You know, I'm gonna get my headshots done all over again. I'm gonna update my resume, you know, remove some things, add some newer things. I might actually just go ahead and get a whole website together. I'm just gonna revamp and rebrand, basically. So, and like I said, I've been going to the gym. I'm not even gonna lie, I have not been to the gym at all this last month. It's been hard. And it's not about me being lazy, I promise. It's about me being a caregiver while still trying to tend to my own things. It's difficult. Being a caregiver is not an easy task at all. And it's even more heart-wrenching when you feel unappreciated. But that's a whole other story. The point is, I guess this video is pretty much just an unintentional update. Yeah. So in any case, I know I'm agentless now. If you're watching this and you want to represent me, you know someone who has an agent or someone who is an agent, or you are an agent, I'm taking business calls. I'm just saying. That's jokingly, but also half serious. No, but yeah. So yeah, I'm agentless at the moment. I am working on this music. I'm getting certain things in order. Oh, I did book something, so I'm actually gonna go to Georgia for the first week of March to do a film that I booked out there. So there's that. And that's my whole thing. That's part of my revamp as well. Like, my resume, acting resume, is about 98% theater and the 2% is film. And it's crazy because there are 2 films that I've done, one of which has yet to be completely edited, and I don't think it's going to be finished anytime soon, if at all, to be honest. I got paid to do it, but you know, it'd be great to actually have the film so that I can make it a part of my acting reel. The other film, well, actually was a series, is still being edited. I don't know when it's going to be released or where they're going to share it, but I know that when that comes out, it's a musical web series, but I know that, but it's a really, really good, and my part in it is not huge. I am a day player in the in that web series. But when it does come out and I can, you know, take my scenes and put that as part of my acting reel, it'll be a great thing, you know. But that's my whole thing. That's part of my revamp. I am pretty much just submitting myself nonstop to a lot of filming projects, whether it's a web series, short film, feature films, union, non-union. I've just been submitting myself and just trying to book gigs and just build a rapport with different directors, and then of course, you know, trying to do these, you know, if I book them, I'll use the film as my as part of my reel and such, and just trying to make it work. I find that I get more work outside of New York, which was part of the reason that I moved to LA to begin with. Most of what I've been booking, again, ironically, has been more southern, in Atlanta, in Lawrenceville, in Georgia, which is not far from where I live in Georgia, and even in like Virginia and such. And I'm okay with that. I'm willing to travel for work. Yeah. That's that. So I'm gonna end this here. Where are we at? 21 minutes. Yeah, I ain't gotta talk no more. That's pretty much an update. I'll go into more detail about certain things in more videos, but I actually gotta go because I gotta edit out these video auditions and then go outside and shovel and possibly try to take my mother to work and all of that. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, like, dislike, I don't care, you know, just interact. It really does help me out a lot. And yeah, let's just do this thing. Look out for new music coming February 14th. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Peace.